Good morning and welcome to the Frontier Africa Radio Energy Podcast. I am Omono Okonkwo. Here are the selected stories for today, November 9, 2021. The highly anticipated African Energy Week conference begins today. The African Energy Week conference holding in Cape Town, South Africa, begins today, November 9, 2021. The 4-day event will be focusing on Africa's energy transition outlook. Through its engagement sessions, the conference will emphasize the critical need for partnerships between governments and key stakeholders to drive Africa's economic growth and energy transition. PwC releases its 2021 Africa Energy Review. In the report, PwC gave potential scenarios that could materialize as Africa progresses the energy transition. 1. Assisted but rushed. 2. Collaborative and measured. 3. Business as usual. Or 4. Stranded and strangled. All these scenarios depend on several factors, including the speed of global net zero adoption, foreign funding available to Africa, and the level of Africa's economic growth, including fossil fuel export revenue. Emerging Market Climate Action Fund to raise €500 million to fight climate change. The European Investment Bank and Alliance Global Investors said on Monday, November 8, they plan to raise €500 million for a fund aimed at bolstering climate mitigation and adaptation in developing countries. The Emerging Markets Climate Action Fund, a fund of funds, Climate Action Fund, a fund of funds to bring together public and private investors for this purpose. There is a $65 billion funding gap for research and development in decarbonization, according to the International Energy Agency. The world is facing a $65 billion funding gap for research and development on decarbonization technologies required to reach net zero emissions by 2050, putting the Paris Agreement's climate goal at risk, according to the International Energy Agency. More than 130 countries and 630 companies have pledged mid-century net zero targets in the hope of capping global warming at 1.5 degrees Celsius. However, nearly 50% of CO2 reductions required by 2050 must come from technologies currently under development, which are not yet commercially available. The funding is needed to support low-carbon hydrogen, advanced batteries, sustainable bioenergy, small modular nuclear reactors, and carbon capture utilization and storage, according to the IEA. Cooking gas price rises by 240% in Nigeria. As a result of this, marketers have halted imports of the commodity. A 12.5 kg canister refill is now sold for over $26, and a lot of Nigerians are struggling. The country imports more than it produces due to a lack of infrastructure. Marketers have called on the government to intervene in the issue, although measures have been taken to ensure the country is able to meet demand with local production, but the results could be long-term. To end today's podcast, here is a quote from Nigerian technology entrepreneur and investor, Osaritin Victor Asemota. If Bitcoin is ever going to do any good for the world, all the mining should be done in Africa with clean energy. Excess energy is passed on to the grid to create local economic growth. African governments should welcome Bitcoin miners who bring renewable energy sources This is the way we can save the earth, create global economic freedom, and economic prosperity.